5'8" little peon. If we were in the streets, I would grab that little ginger and smack him upside the head and make him forget who the he was.
I'm gonna keep it a full-on buck with you guys. If you don't think Jake Paul's gonna win, you know nothing. You know nothing. I am a casual. I've never been in a fight before, but I like sports and I like watching fighting. I'm telling you guys right now, Jake Paul wins this fight. It's very obvious.
There's, actual fighters from shine. It also has done for women's boxing a lot. So I'm not mad at him for what he's been in boxing and what he's created. This is a little crazy. This is a little crazy. And a lot of people will say, Tank is too small.
Jake Paul sends a firm warning to Gervonta Davis during a live stream. He tells fans that anyone doubting him is wrong because he works hard on training and preparation. Paul stresses that he is focused and sure about what he can achieve inside the ring. He also says Davis will not be able to stand up to his strength and that the fight will make his point.
He would potentially kill you if you got on the ring with him.
He's a 5'8" little peon. If we were in the streets, I would grab that little ginger and smack him upside the head and make him forget who the he was. People don't realize I'm a real killer. I really do this. YouTube this, YouTube that, Disney that. This is not a joke. I'm knocking out the best of the best, beating all of these people time in and time again. And it's about time that you old heads and all these boxers who think they know about the sport put some respect on my name.
Aiden Ross, a well-known streamer, is sure Jake Paul will surprise everyone against Gervonta Davis. To him, people who doubt Jake's chances simply don't understand boxing. Ross says Jake has grown with every bout and now owns the tools to challenge a champion-level fighter. He rejects critics who still call Jake just a YouTuber, saying Jake has already proved himself in the ring. For Ross, this isn't about Tank's legacy, but about Jake's climb, and he insists Jake's focus and work ethic make him very dangerous.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be very surprised if Jake's not favored on the sports betting on sports. Like all you guys saying and all this do you guys understand that it's all about weight and shit? Like, all right, I'm gonna keep it a full-on buck with you guys. If you don't think Jake Paul's gonna win, you know nothing. You know nothing. I am a casual. I've never been in a fight before, but I like sports and I like watching fighting. I'm telling you guys right now, Jake Paul wins this fight. It's very obvious, right? It's very, very, very obvious.
Davis often faces criticism not for what he does in the ring, but for failing to draw crowds outside it. Experts argue that Davis has had trouble promoting fights, even inside his weight class. Meanwhile, Jake Paul and his brother Logan have mastered hype, turning every card into a big show, selling millions of pay-per-views with their charm and showmanship. This is why Jake is making this clash exciting worldwide. Critics say Tank's name is not strong enough to carry an event like this without Jake's star power.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pound. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skill, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. Tank is telling anybody that will listen that there's a size problem. My skills and my experience in boxing, I do not have to wonder who's in the bar tonight. Any bar I go to, I rule the bar. No, it turns out that you don't. Just need some big guy to corner you. Apparently, boxing has never stood its ground. Boxing has never been able to explain why Floyd needed a half hour to get rid of a guy who's never boxed before. Tank Davis has already began this. When you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he goes out and acts like a dum.
Stevenson, one of boxing's sharpest talents, openly questioned Gervonta Davis for picking this fight. Stevenson believes it's disrespectful to the sport that Davis chose Jake Paul instead of facing top contenders in his division. According to Shocker, Tank had better choices, including a bout with him that could have proved he's the top lightweight. Instead, Tank went for what Stevenson views as a cash grab against a celebrity fighter. Shocker's irritation mirrors the concern of purists, who prefer real title fights over crossover shows.
You got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that, and he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
Oladipo viewed the matchup from another angle, noting that both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are still in their best years. To him, this fight shouldn't happen right now. Oladipo said stars like Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul staged exhibitions after their peak years, which fit entertainment goals. In his eyes, Davis and Paul have bigger bouts ahead and shouldn't waste their prime chasing spectacle fights. He feels this meeting should have waited until after they passed their peak stages.
Whether you agree with it or not, Gervonta is considered the #1 lightweight in the world. And it's a division that includes Shakur Stevenson, a lot of young guns coming up. I'm not any more sure if it's going to include Keyshawn Davis, but it's a hot division. He's considered #1 in that division. Like, that's why I kind of find this a bit, I don't know. Like, there are challenges out there for Gervonta. There are big money fights out there for Gervonta. We want to see Gervonta in those fights. Again, I don't know how many fights people want to see AJ in, just to make the AJ-Jake Paul comparison. One, as far as I'm concerned, that was Tyson Fury. I don't really have any interest in seeing an AJ in any other more fights. Whereas Gervonta Davis, I wanted and still do want to see him in so many more fights. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. These exhibition things are, like, really and truly, they should all be when your career's done. Like, when you think of Floyd versus Logan Paul, it's done, right? Floyd versus Conor, did he have one more after? Was that it? I can't even remember. But it was right at the end. It was done right at the end, even if it wasn't, right at the end. These guys having these exhibition fights in between what is the peak of their career is kind of weird for me. Very, very weird. And then it isn't even comparable to Ngannou Fury, because at least these guys were the same size. Like, Jake Paul is a 215, 220 pound guy. I don't know what he walks around at. Gervonta fights at 135. Guessing he walks around about 155. Like, what? Like, Jake Paul, I've been around him. I'm 5'11", I'd say he's 6'1". Gervonta, I've been around him, I'd say he's 5'4", 5'5", max. I know a lot of these guys wear those big...
Paulie gets animated whenever the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis clash comes up. Venting his anger in talks with Chris Algieri, he claims knockouts only mean something when they happen against elite foes, not set-up contests. He mentions Felix Trinidad and Mike Tyson as proof of fighters who earn knockout fame against the best. Paulie says Tank has avoided top names for years, while lightweights and super feathers were full of talent. Comparing this event to Tyson's era is to him insulting, and he angrily labels it just a money chase.
Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture.
You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way Wayne did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know? The way that Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Okay, say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was, to a degree, manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. That we're afraid of.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Oh, except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say, like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone. There was nobody there in that era that you could say Tyson didn't fight.
Didn't say it was related. It was the same as the Tyson era. Didn't say it at all. I was actually going to say the opposite when you talk about Trinidad. Trinidad is a bona fide superstar. And the way that he was, and like you said,
he stepped him up and he knocked out.
And he was a knockout punches. No, of course.
Let's see. Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis is more show than true boxing. They argue Jake isn't at championship level, so chasing belts doesn't fit his path. A fight like this instead brings big attention because of its entertainment value. With Netflix running the stream, the clash will draw a massive audience no matter what happens. Some think Tank will run through Jake since he lacks Tank's talent and speed. But others say it's still fun because people enjoy unusual fights. In the end, it's about buzz and spectacle, not legacy.
I do. Like, I think he's tactfully, as I said, I think he's tactfully saying, like, oh,
even
yeah,
if he's, yeah, so even if he's promoting it the other way, I've been very consistent on my Jake Paul thoughts. I will reiterate one more time. I would rather see this because it's a spectacle than him versus Ryan Borland or Andre August or chasing these like quote-unquote championship dreams in boxing. I don't think he's a championship level boxer. I don't really care about that journey. I want to see him in spectacles. Netflix is going to air Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. So to me, this is, you know.
Do you think it will do well?
It will be watched. It will be watched.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. A lot of people are going to watch.
I would rather see Anthony Joshua just because that has been put out there and is on the table. But I will watch this.
I saw some people breaking this down on, it was a non-fight pod. It was, I don't remember which one. And they were saying like, oh, Tank's gonna kill him. Tank's gonna kill him because he won't be able to touch Tank. And then
Stephen Fulton, respected U.S. boxer, defended Davis after harsh criticism. Many fans and experts say Tank is chasing easy pay instead of legacy bouts. Fulton offered a wider view, noting people should respect Davis's right to secure life-changing money, given how brief boxing careers can be. He pointed out that while fans love legacy debates, fighters also need to look after their families and futures. From Fulton's view, Davis taking a rich fight isn't wrong, even if diehard fans wanted him to fight top-level opponents.
Anybody in that position would have taken that fight, especially with the payout. It's like, that's a no-brainer, but I understand. I still feel for Lamont. That's my boy. Like, he still want his rematch. But then when you be realistic about the money situation, you're changing your whole family life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's people hate on it because they're not in that position. I'm not saying Lamont. I'm speaking like other boxers. Be like, oh, he this for that. He's this. It's a side quest. It's a little side quest. Because what happened when Floyd and all these guys went on WWE, but then they get right back to what they doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's another little side quest. I'm all for people just getting their money. So get the best, make the most that you can out of this entertainment world. Because, I mean, I don't know. I would have done it as far as the money aspect, because none of us would deny that money. They talking like they would, none of them.